Hello, everyone. Good morning, crafty friends. I am so excited you're here today. Happy Tuesday. We made it through Monday. It's officially Tuesday. We're into our week. I hope you're having a good one so far. Let me know as you are hopping on today. I feel like I'm flying solo today. Typically, Whitney is here with me, but she's on a little vacation this week, much deserved. So yeah, I hope everything is going through just fine. It looks like I'm getting some comments here. Here I am waiting not so patiently. Good morning, Debbie. Hi, Susan. Good to see you guys watching over on YouTube. I am, like I said, super excited you guys are here today. It is officially the craftiest time of the year, and we launched today our Season of Crafting sale event. So this is the third year that we have done Season of Crafting, and it's just a little bit different each year with the products that we offer on the sale. So we're going to talk about that today because I know lots of you are excited about what's to come, and that Season of Crafting sale then leads into Black Friday, which is always exciting at Tailored Expressions, and I can't wait to share with you. So I will be taking next week's live to share with you about our kind of Black Friday happenings. We will have some exclusive, never before seen products in our Black Friday doorbuster bundles that I will tell you about. So Season of Crafting is just the beginning, but it's an exciting time. So our shipping team is ready. Our customer service has already been on the phone with some of you today as you had questions about the Season of Crafting sale launch. So hopefully I can answer some of those too if you have them. Good morning, Lori. Hi, Karen. Order placed. That's good to hear. Belinda's out in Houston. Mindy's watching just over stone's throw away in Altoona. Good morning, Farley, out in Sacramento. That is definitely more than a stone's throw away. Thank you guys for joining in today. Lori's out in Adele. Good morning, Donna. Hi, Gina and Nancy's in Omaha. I love it. I love seeing where everybody's joining from too. So how many of you were able to join us this past weekend for our virtual Stamp Joy class? We had our class pass from our fall in-person event that we offered virtually this past weekend. So I got to spend Saturday, kind of morning, afternoon with lots of you, and we had so much fun. Susan was here, and Heather was here, and Whitney was here. And we just had a great time teaching the cards from our Stunning Stencils class. So I hope those of you that joined us had fun too. And that brings me to a very exciting announcement. So you guys heard me say that Heather was here for our Stamp Joy virtual class. In case you weren't a part of that this weekend, then you will be excited to know that Heather is going to be back here live on Thursday. We are just really excited to have her back. I know many of you know that Heather has been out for a while, spending some time with her family, and sadly her dad passed away recently, but she is ready to get back into crafting with all of us. She, I know, appreciates all of your thoughts and prayers and everything that you have offered to her. So yeah, we're just really excited to have her back. And she will be crafting with you on our Thursday live at 10 a.m. So definitely mark your calendar for that. Good morning, good morning. Hello from Utah, Mrs. Whitlock. You came to Virtual Stamp Joy. That's awesome. Good morning, Sharon. Hi, Colleen. Yes, we are very excited. Colleen says, yay for Heather. We are excited to have her back creating with us. So all right, you guys, we are going to talk about Season of Crafting. Should we get to it? I will be crafting with you. I know we're not releasing any new products today, but I'm going to be taking one of the items from our sale category today and crafting with it, kind of showing you how you can stretch it from a holiday product into an all occasion, all season, all year long product, which is something I love to do, because we all like to get a lot of use out of our supplies. And I know some specific holiday items can only be used for your holiday cards, and then they kind of get set aside until the next year. But this particular one, you are gonna be able to see how you can stretch it for cards for Christmas, Easter, sympathy, thinking of you, even just a general hello card. It's gonna be great. And it's on sale today, so double the fun. All right, I'm gonna put you down in front of me, and I have the Season of Crafting flyer right here so that you can take a look at this if you have not seen this yet. It is available on our website. If you go to tailoredexpressions.com, and across the top of the page, you will find the navigation bar, and in there it will say Season of Crafting. If you just click on that, that is going to be your guide for this whole Season of Crafting event. And you can find the different sale days, what's coming up, so you can plan your purchases. And you can also, each day of the particular sale, you can go in and click on that day, and it will bring you to the category of products that is on sale. So just keep that in the back of your mind, that Season of Crafting at the top navigation bar on the Tailored Expressions website. And that's where you're going to find all of the information for this. And I see Charlie's on today. She also linked you to the category where you can find today's sale items. I'm going to hold this up a little bit closer so you can see today is November 14th. Right here, you can see we have rubber stamp combos on sale. And I apologize, apparently there's been a little bit of confusion, but I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So rubber stamp combos are any combo product that has a rubber stamp in it. So that would be stamp and stencil combos, stamp and die combos, cling and clear combos, and then stamp, stencil, and clear combos. I know that was a lot of words. So if you're looking for the easy track, just click this graphic and it's going to take you to the category and show you exactly what's on sale. However, there was some confusion. I think that a combo product needs to have the word combo in the product name. So it means we're selling the stamp and the die together as a combo. So it doesn't mean stamps that have a coordinating die are on the sale today. It's simply the ones that we sell as a combo product, a stamp and stencil combo, a stamp and die combo. So just make sure that it has the word combo in it, and it also has a red rubber stamp in it. And those are the two kind of things that will help you understand what's in the sale. But again, if you're looking for the easy way, just click on that graphic and the category is already filled with all of the items that are on today's sale. For every day of Season of Crafting, each of these specified deals, the items in the category will be 30% off. They start at 9 a.m. each morning and they end at 11:59 the next day, right before the next sale goes live. So this sale for rubber stamp combos will last. It started at 9 a.m. today and it will go through 8:59 a.m. tomorrow. And then the new sale will start at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and that will be dies. All dies, standalone, coordinating, stacklets, cutting plates, all of the dies will be on sale. And as we go through this calendar, again, you can follow along, plan out your purchases. But then when we get to Black Friday, we will have a site-wide sale with a slightly lesser discount of 20% off anything on the Tailored Expressions website. So that's the time when you'll get those items that you didn't find on any of these sale days. Plus, as I mentioned earlier, we've got some special doorbuster bundles that we've put together and other exclusive products that are coming out first at Black Friday. One more special thing here down at the bottom, want to make sure everybody is aware, when you purchase $200 or more on any individual day of the sale, you'll get an additional 10% off of your order. So there's another way to stack discounts. If there's a particular day that you want to make sure you're spending that $200 or more, then you will get your 10% additionally off of the 30% that you're already getting on the sale day. So it is Season of Crafting, and this is the time of year when we as crafters are buying all of those things, either to make our own cards or to make gifts for others for the holiday season upcoming. So now is your time to take advantage of the discounts. Mindy says she made sure to organize her TE products so she didn't double purchase. Well, we appreciate that, and good job. That deserves like a pat on the back today for sure. Okay, well, as promised, I said I was going to talk about one of our combo products, and I'm going to show you guys how to take that from holiday into all year round. And the product we're going to be talking about just released this holiday release. Heather actually illustrated this, and it is called Peaceful Dove. It is a rubber stamp and stencil combo, so the two products are sold together, and it is part of the sale today, so that's exciting. The other thing we're going to be using is the Peaceful Dove die. So this isn't on today's sale, but it will be on tomorrow's sale. So just another item that coordinates perfectly with these two products, and I'll be using that in my projects today. I wanted to start by showing you guys a few of the holiday cards that the designers have made, because this is great for beautiful holiday cards. This one is a very soft version of a Christmas card. So we've got a little bit of pink, some more of a hot pink than a red color. Jill Hawkins made this one, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So there's one option for a holiday card. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Maybe Lori is watching here today, and I just said Jill made this, but Lori made this. Lori Craig made this. Sometimes I get their styles mixed up, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I should have known, since there was no stitching on it, that it was not a Jill card. But yes, Lori made this beautiful holiday card in kind of a pastel color combination. Then we have this tag. So Heather took this set and created tags with it. Or you could consider them ornaments if you wanted to. So she put kind of a long string on here, which would allow you to create many of these and just hang them on your Christmas tree if you like to make your own decor. So I love that holiday use for it as well. And then Heather, while she was here this weekend, we were just chatting through today's live, kind of sharing some of my ideas and laying things out. And she said, I've always been wanting to try what the wreath would look like around the dove's neck. So I pulled out this wreath from our Wreathed in Joy set, which also released at Christmas. And then I put the smaller wreath here around the dove's neck. Just added a sentiment, a fun sparkly background with our unicorn sparkle mist and our twinkle twinkle background. And then you get kind of a unique version of a holiday card using the Peaceful Dove. So there are lots of ideas. Of course, on our website, you'll find lots of ideas for using this set for the holidays. But I wanted to show you how to use these products and create some beautiful encouragement cards. So as you know, recently we released what was called our Heartfelt release that had some new insiders panels, sympathy sentiments. We had our You Are set that has all the different ways to say, let's see if I can pull it out here. All the different ways you can say you are brave, you are loved, you are enough, strong, amazing, inspiring, not alone, incredible, and a warrior. So all of those are together on the same stamp, and then the die cuts them apart in one pass through your machine, so you can have lots of different words to pair up with that beautiful cursive you are sentiment there. So we're gonna make one of these. I think the really soft kind of purple and blue color combination really lends itself to lots of different occasions. I can see this being used with Easter sentiments as well. The dove is a beautiful symbol for Easter, and so you can get lots of use out of this particular collection, not just for the holidays. So I'm going to start by cutting one of the Peaceful Dove dies out of sugar cube cardstock. Need my die cut machine to do that. So now that we are a couple weeks away from Thanksgiving, I always love to hear what is on everybody's meal plan or menu for this Thanksgiving. And I'll share a few of my favorites too. And I'm also curious if you're cooking the meal for Thanksgiving, or do you typically go somewhere, or maybe you go to your parents or your in-laws, or maybe you host. Okay, so here are the two dies that I have cut out from sugar cube cardstock, and you can see they have those etched lines in them, and those etched lines, they line up perfectly with the coordinating stencils that come with the stamp and stencil combo. So we are going to be using the stamp eventually to create these background pieces on the cards, but first we're going to use the stencils to add some color over the top of our kind of etched detailing on this dove die. Oh, Beth is scaring me. Yeah, she said she gave the countdown. Thanksgiving is only 9 days away. That's true. I said a couple of weeks, but it is truly only 9 days away. So I guess I better go get some shopping done. Grocery shopping, that is. Okay, so I have put down just a little bit of adhesive on my glass mat. Hopefully you guys got your pre-orders in for that glass mat, because we have now taken that down and submitted our order for those pre-orders. So we are going to have those ready to ship out to you. Those of you that ordered them should be expecting those here sometime in December. Hopefully by the second week of December or so. Jamie says you have vegetarians in your family, and so you do lots of sides. I love that. I am not a vegetarian, but I prefer just to eat the sides. So I'm with you. All right, now we're going to take our ink stand, and I'm going to start with pea pod ink and my big blender brush. Carrie, you like the old-fashioned Midwestern Jell-O salads. Yes, every year at Thanksgiving we have a long discussion, it seems like, about what qualifies as a salad. My mother-in-law makes a wonderful strawberry pretzel Jell-O salad. I'm sure all of our good Midwesterners will know what that is if you've ever been to a potluck before. So I always look forward to that, but we do get into a debate about whether it can be counted as a salad. Does a salad have to have lettuce or not? Oh, seafood gumbo. That'll be good. Normally my favorite is, oh, I kind of missed, where did that go? Cheesy green bean casserole. That sounds good. All right, so next I have cilantro ink here with my bitty blender brush, and I'm just going to take and kind of pull that from the base of these sprigs on the wings. Leave the top the lighter pea pod color. And then I'm going to do one more color. So I ended up doing 3 green colors. Jalapeno is going to give me that very dark accent that I want at just the very bottom of these vines to give it that one more layer of depth. Yes, Barbara, you said the strawberry salad is a disguised dessert. So true. Oh, Jamie says check out Midwestern Mom on Instagram. She's all about Minnesota salads. I love it. Cheesy veggie casserole. Ooh, that sounds good. One of my family favorites that I've made forever and ever, and now I bring it to all of my gatherings with my other side of my family, my husband's side of the family, and that is corn casserole. So my mom always called it scalloped corn, but I feel like it's maybe better known as corn casserole than as scalloped corn. Okay, so I'm just lining up this stencil here, and you can see when you're using maybe I'll come in a little bit closer, then you can really see it here. So you can see that those etched lines that are in the die cut line up perfectly with the stencil. So that's how you know exactly where to place your stencil. You have to pay attention to those etchings before you have it in exactly the right spot. So I'm going to take my little pieces of, what did I do with those? Well, Maybe I crumpled up my pieces of teal tape on accident because I don't see them anywhere now. Okay, so next up I'm gonna go with purple for the flowers. Yes, everyone, purple. And we're gonna do macaron ink first, which is the lighter purple of the color family that I find myself reaching for the most, which is macaron and dried fig. Those are my two favorite purples, and they're more of a blurple. Okay, good. I have another one who says we call it scalloped corn, and you're in Wisconsin. Okay. I'm not sure all the technical cooking terms, so I'm not sure what makes it scalloped. Kind of like scalloped potatoes. I deal in scallops in paper crafting, and so we have scalloped rectangles and not scalloped corn. So maybe a chef out there can explain to me what would make it scalloped. But all right, the things that go through my brain sometimes. So I'm going to take dried fig next with my bitty blender brush, and I'm going to fill in just a few of those macaron flowers to give it, again, some depth and dimension. And we'll pull that stencil layer up, and you can really see it starting to come together. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Next up, we have the third layer of the stencil. So there are 3 layers of this stencil, and this one, these are the dots. Now there are no etched markings on here except for the flower centers, so I'm going to use those flower centers, but there's also an etched guide around the outside. You can see if I get it on the light here. There is an etched guide of the dove image that you can also line up with the outer edge of your die cut. But I'm going to use those etched markings first to get my kind of in the center of the flowers, make sure I have all those in the right place. And then I can kind of shift from there. Okay, Julianne asks if I add breadcrumbs to my scalloped corn, and that's what makes it scalloped. Well, I do add that Jiffy corn muffin mix. I guess I'm not sure if that's a nationally recognized product, but the brand is Jiffy, and it's like a cornbread mix. And you add that into like a can of cream style corn and a can of regular corn, and then of course you put all the good healthy things in it like butter and sour cream, and I don't put cheese in mine. An egg, of course, so when you bake it, it kind of gets puffy a little bit. Ooh, it's so good. But yes, it must be the cornbread that makes it scalloped. So maybe this is a silly question, but obviously I don't make scalloped potatoes, but those have bread in them? Yes, okay, now I'm thinking back. You usually sprinkle breadcrumbs on the top of scalloped potatoes, right? I am exposing myself as a non-chef, but I do know how to make the food dishes that my family asks for, so I'm sticking to that. All right, so here we go. Let me pull this up into the camera so you can see how beautifully that turned out with all of those etched details in it. I love it. So pretty and really simple. And of course, if you're doing a set of cards like I've done here, you can kind of, you can use similar colors. On both of these, I did purple flowers, but it would even be pretty with blue flowers with purple centers if you wanted to kind of change that up just a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna stick with just one today. I think we'll just make one of these cards, and we're gonna move on to our next step then. Actually, you know what, guys? I wanna make another card. It wasn't too hard, and it didn't take too long, so I'm just gonna pop right through this while we talk about our holiday plans. Is anybody traveling for the holidays, like airplane travel? We have done that a few times in our lives. We have hopped on a plane when we used to live farther away from family, but it seems like now these days everybody's around in the same area. And we're actually spending this Thanksgiving with John, with my husband's family, and Whitney is heading to her husband's side of the family, so we won't be hanging out with them, unfortunately. But I'm sure we're both going to be making scallop corn for both of our other sides of the family, because everybody always loves it. Andrea, you're getting on an airplane. Where are you headed? I love warm places. California, we've usually when we've traveled in the past, we lived in California and then we traveled back to Iowa, so we were never traveling from cool to warm. All right, we'll get that jalapeno in here right at the bases. This is going to be Taylor's version of Heather's speed blending. Okay, next stencil on the speed blend is the purple. Shift it to get it right into place here. All right. I feel like the other thing I should be asking, well, I mean, I know lots of you are doing some Black Friday shopping because you're shopping on our website right now as we speak, but I'm curious if any of you have traditions of going out either the evening of Thanksgiving or the next day and hitting up your favorite spots. I used to do that before children came along, and then it just became less fun to wake up early and go do that because I have to wake up early on a normal occasion. So usually now that when we have days off, I would rather sleep in than get myself up and out the door early. But we all have the ability to do online shopping, so I usually do a little bit of that. All right, last one here, and then I'll have 2 of these to work on. I can never have enough thinking of you and that type of card. So thanks for bearing with me while I get this extra dove created. You know, I might even set it aside and then you'll see it reappear at Easter. And I can make my Easter card with this too. So sprinkles right in there. Renee, you're with me. Sleep in and shop online. I think one of my favorite places to shop. I love Target. Anybody else like Target? I feel like the typical suburban mom that just likes to go wander through Target with a Starbucks in my hand and without children, with children if I must. Oops. All right, there we go. We have two doves, 2 turtle doves. You guys can finish the rest. All right, I've got a little bit of adhesive here, so I'm going to spray that with my alcohol and just get that off so I don't have to fight with it the rest of my card making session. Oh, Kimberly. Liz, you like Target for the win also. Kimberly is trying to get some brownie points today. She says TE is her favorite place to shop. So I love it. Target and coffee, winning combination. Yes, Candy likes Target because there's something for everyone. There is. And I don't actually have to twist my kid's arm to go to Target. If I really want to go, they'll usually go with me. And our younger daughter, she finds herself these days in the skincare and makeup section For a 10-year-old, that child spends more money on her skincare than I do as a 40-plus-year-old. So I keep asking her, is that really what you want to spend your money on? Expensive creams when you have such beautiful skin. You're 10. Oh, so anyway, she's probably onto something though, starting the skincare routine really early in life and then continuing it. All right, so I am going to start with Sprinkles ink here, and I'm actually just going to ink this up. I find it to be a little bit easier to place it down on my grid paper placemat. There are a couple different ways you can do this, and I'll explain the other way too, because plenty of times I do it that way too. But by having it on your grid paper, you can see the outline of the stamp, and that means you can perfectly center your paper on wherever that stamped image is going to go. So that means that your dove, which is centered on the stamp, is going to be centered on your paper because you're able to see it there. Now the other option to do, if you don't want to stamp it onto your grid paper, you can place the paper down onto your stamp. You can put a little bit of adhesive here on your grid paper, and then you can close the lid, obviously making sure your paper is centered over here. Close the lid, and then you can open it up, and once again it is centered perfectly on that space. So either way works. This way that we just did obviously saves a little bit of ink because you don't have to ink your paper. But I find that when I'm mass producing, I want to be able to have that template that I can just pop it in each time. And when my stamp is dirty over here, I don't want to have to put my paper on top of it to make sure that it's centered. So that's just one option. Another one, you could draw little markings around it if you plan to mass produce and you want to use your grid paper. The first way you could put your adhesive down, close the lid, and then take your pen and trace around it, and then you know where to put it each time. So just some tips for if you do want to mass produce this concept and you want to make sure that that dove is centered. If it's not centered, then you're not going to get your die cut piece positioned on your card where you want it to be. So this is Sprinkles ink and Sprinkles cardstock to give you a tone-on-tone look. And we'll just press that down. And if we want to do it twice, stamp it twice to make it nice, we can do that. You can see here that I got a pretty good impression on the first time through. It's a little bit, I guess, mottled or splotchy. So to make it more solid, I'm going to stamp it one more time. And my inking technique, which I don't often talk about because sometimes it just comes second nature, but I do what's called a twist and a tap. So I twist the ink pad across the surface of my stamp, and this is only for foam pad or for felt pads. You don't want to twist with a foam pad. And then I just give it a tap over the whole surface. So a twist and a tap makes it pretty simple to remember. Yes, Carrie, this is Sprinkles cardstock with Sprinkles ink. And it gives you that beautiful tone on tone. This will dry back a little bit, so it looks pretty dark right now. But if I pull in the sample here that I originally created, you can see that as the ink dries, the color will blend back closer to the color of the actual cardstock. So it looks dark when you first stamp it, and then it dries back lighter. So next we're going to do let's do this one since I have everything out, and this is dried fig. Dried fig is obviously a darker color than the sprinkles, so I don't have to be super careful in washing it, but I did just wipe it with a baby wipe so I don't contaminate my ink pads and then dry it off a little bit with my microfiber cloth too. So dried fig ink with dried fig cardstock, the twist and a tap. The twist helps you get it perfectly, or not perfectly, it helps you get ink all over it. And then the tap, in my eyes, kind of helps you perfect the inking so that it looks consistent across the surface. I do see I have a little bit of baby wipe in there. So we'll do this little part over again. Okay, that one looks just perfect. So either my ink pad was more juicy on this one, or I just got a better inking, but I don't need to stamp that one again. I think that looks just perfect. So we'll go ahead and take that off of here, and we've got our 2 backgrounds. And we have our 2 doves to fit inside of those, which I'm going to go ahead and pop these up with some foam tape. I have my 1x3 foam strips, and we might be able to fit one almost. I'll cut a little bit off of this to fit it on the back. Has anybody put up their Christmas decorations yet? I know we had some, when the last time that I asked, we had some people that like to do it before Thanksgiving. So it is now, as Beth pointed out, 9 days before Thanksgiving. So maybe you do already have it up. I do not. And I'm actually a little bit, I don't know, I feel a little nervous about Christmas decorations this year. We moved earlier this year to a new home, and so I don't know where any of these decorations are going to go. So do you guys change where your decorations go each year? I think in my old house I had perfected where I wanted to put the decorations, and then you would go out every time you go to buy new decorations. You kind of buy based on your empty spaces in your house where you want to fit something else or something new, or and now I just have to get all the tubs out, and I feel like it's going to be a huge process. Instead of what used to take me just one day to kind of decorate the whole house because I knew where everything was going to go, is now probably going to take me longer. I shouldn't even talk about it because then I just get stressed out, and I want it to be fun and not stressful, right? Oh, okay. Candy says I don't put stuff in the same place. Well, that's going to be me this year, finding a new place for everything. And then in my old house, I had pictures of Christmas decorating, and then I would just get out my pictures from last year where I had put everything and where I liked things to be put, and then we just did that again, and it was fun. And I guess that's how I got the kids involved too. I would give Maddie and Charlie a picture and the appropriate decor that goes in those spots, and then they would go do it. And I didn't have to, go move things around after they decorated. Tammy used to switch it up, but now I mainly stick to the same decor plan each year. Okay, I'm glad to hear. Amy says I've done that too. Okay, good. I'm not alone. I felt very exposed sharing my potentially odd way of decorating for Christmas. Okay, so let's put this dove down, and you can see that die cut just perfectly covers the opening in the stamp. Now, if you want to use the stamp with the stencil, you would simply stamp your background and then you would layer your stencils right into that open space that's on the background, and then you can have a 1-layer card if you're not using the die cut portion. Okay. Now let's talk about sentiments. So the ones that I used on my 2 cards before are thinking of you and you are loved. Which one do you guys like better? I'm curious because I spent a lot of time like fiddling with the placement on the sentiments, and I wasn't sure about this one. It is stacked up 3 times with a backer on it so that it stands apart from the dove. And this one was just really simple and easy. It actually would look really nice down on the belly here, but I decided to place it up there on the top. I'm gonna pull out some sentiments that I already have embossed. And they are from Sincere Sentiments. So this is one from our new heartfelt release and has lots of good, whether it's, thinking of you or you're in my prayers or potentially remembering someone on the anniversary of the loss of a loved one, with sympathy, heartfelt sympathy, sharing in your sorrow. So lots of good sentiments in there. And like I said, I had these already stamped and embossed with black and then cut out. Marge loves the swoop of the You Are Loved. Amy likes the You Are Loved too. Okay, well, maybe I should make some more of those instead of more of these. I do, like I said, have these already done, so we can go ahead and do one with this sentiment, and then we'll do one with the You Are Loved. Remembering you today. We could try putting it down this way. Let's try just with sympathy. Up here or down here. I think I do like it up here on the left of this card layout. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. I'll put a little bit of foam tape on the one side that's going to hang off, and then I'll add the I'll add just regular adhesive to the other side. Just can't find where I put my, I couldn't find where I put my adhesive roll. Certainly big enough, I shouldn't lose it. Okay. Do that. Perfect. And I just kind of did the opposite card base as the panel that I stamped on. So really easy to pick colors on this one. I did dried fig card base with the sprinkles panel. I do appreciate, I don't think she's here today, but Deb on our fan page, she gave me some inspiration on maybe how I should do my tree this year with rainbow ornaments. If you guys are on our Facebook fan page, then maybe you saw that. Looks super fun and fairly easy to do if I can just find colored ornaments in all the colors of the rainbow. And then you kind of hang them in groupings. So like all the red ornaments and then all the orange and all the yellow all the way down the tree till you get to the bottom. So that could be something. Oh yes, Anita says, some decorations are tradition. Everyone looks for them in a certain spot and then moving them creates, Mom, where's this one? And where's this one? And then they move it to where it belongs. So, okay, I'm not the only one that has a place that things are intended to belong. Okay, so we're gonna take this one then, and I'm gonna place that on the opposite color card base, which is sprinkles. Place that down here. A lot of times I'll turn my card base over and rub from the back to get it all adhered. And then let's go ahead and do this together. I think this would be great. I have some cardstock here that I'll just slip in to my MISTI. And then we're going to do all of the words from the You Are set. I think this is such a fun idea. I actually have seen a lot of designers and just customers on our fan page use this stamp all as one and use it almost as a background and then pop up one of the words that you want to call out. So I think that's a really great way to use this. Obviously the intention was to kind of use these words separately, but that gives you a use for them. And truly, these are all such positive words that you could say about someone that you want to encourage and then just call out one specific word. Okay, so I'm going to use my powder tool and just kind of pounce that across the surface because I do love a good embossed sentiment. So I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Nocturne, which is a pigment ink. And it stays, that just means it stays wet longer than your dye inks, and staying wet longer gives it the opportunity for you to emboss it. So most of our inks dry really quickly, and if you were to pour embossing powder over the top, they would just stay, all that embossing powder would just fall off. But this particular ink stays wet longer, which is why I love using it to emboss sentiments. So I stamp the sentiments in black, and I'm going to stamp a little bit more here in the center of that strong word. I wasn't strong enough when I pushed on it. Okay, then we're going to grab this out of the MISTI. And I think I have a piece of scratch paper somewhere here. All right. Then I have clear embossing powder. So my sentiments are stamped in black, and then by putting the clear over the top, that gives me a beautiful black sentiment that's embossed, but I didn't have to use black embossing powder. So even if we have any flyaway bits of embossing powder off to the sides of our sentiments, you're not going to see them because we used clear embossing powder instead of black embossing powder. All right, let me grab my really easy to see it start to turn, and once it starts to turn that nice shiny black, we're just going to move right along. We don't want to overheat it. Just make sure it has that little bit of time to kind of settle onto the paper. If you do touch embossing powder while it's still, I'll say wet, I guess, it will smear. But usually, you know, give it maybe 3 seconds or so after. Count to 5. That's a good tip. Count to 5. Okay, so I have this all lined up, and of course I did not cut my tape beforehand. Normally I would use our Scotch removable tape, but I'm just gonna use my skin to kind of de-tack some of this teal tape. And teal tape can be used for die cutting, but I do recommend de-tacking it before you use it because that extra pressure from the die cut machine does make it tear your paper because it's adding so much pressure when it goes through that it's pushing the adhesive into the paper, and with the level of tackiness that we already have with this particular teal tape, it's just too much for the paper to withstand and it will rip your paper. Maybe I de-tacked it too much because now it doesn't want to stay. And my brave word wants to get crooked on me. Okay, there we go. I am also starting to wonder, with the holidays coming up, what I am supposed to do with Jingle. Jingle is our elf. And my kids, maybe I should give you a warning if you have any children watching this. Maybe we just shouldn't talk about Jingle. We'll talk about Jingle later. Jingle needs to make his appearance this year, and I'm not sure how to do that. Okay, so there we have all of those words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Technically 10 because not and alone, they cut out separately. However, don't go telling people you are not loved, you are not incredible, you are not brave. Not only goes with alone. Okay, everybody? All right. Oh, I can't put that away yet because I need to do the you are. But I also don't know what I did with that die. Well, I think we might just have to pretend I have a you are because I must have not, or I misplaced the die somewhere. But anyhow, what I really wanted to show you guys was how cutting all of those sentiments together, how that worked with our stamp that's all combined into one. And then you can choose if you want to say you are enough, you are inspiring. And you'll notice as I kind of pop these on here that the areas that are over the top of the white, they get lost a little bit, especially when you have that thinner sentiment and the black writing just gets lost a little bit among all the white layers. So that's why I took the coordinating color from the background. I took the dried fig and used the die cut to cut that same word out and then just slightly offset it from the sentiment. If I pull that up really close, you can see how I adhered the die cut sentiment to another die cut that was a different color to kind of help that stand out from the dove in the background. Pretty, right? All right, let's bring them all back in. So we've got our kind of thinking of you, sympathy cards, and the ability to make a pretty holiday card with this dove. And this will not be the last you'll see of our beautiful, peaceful dove, because as I mentioned before, I think it would be great to do Easter cards with this. I can already picture some sentiments we have in our collection that would look great with this as an Easter dove. All right, you guys, I'm going to bring you back here and we're going to talk a little bit more about Season of Crafting. If you joined late and you don't know what Season of Crafting is, then check it out on the Tailored Expressions website. It's across the top navigation bar. Just click on Season of Crafting. It will bring up our daily deals that are 30% off specific categories of products leading up to Black Friday. We'll talk about that next week. We'll talk more about the different doorbusters that are coming and our sales that are happening specifically for Thanksgiving weekend. And yeah, I think that's all I've got today. I had told you guys earlier that Heather will be back on Thursday at 10 a.m. So make sure you mark your calendar to tune in Thursday 10 a.m. Or if you're going to watch the replay, definitely do that. I know she's excited to get crafty with all of you again. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you again next week. Bye-bye.